Rain hammered down that night, a relentless symphony drumming against the windshield, as if the heavens echoed his weariness. Daniel swiped the fog from the glass with the back of his sleeve, his eyes burning from fatigue. He had spent the day behind the wheel, delivering meals for the restaurant, driven by the urgent need to gather enough money for his son's asthma meds. The dashboard clock blinked 11:47 p.m. He had promised Ethan he'd be home before midnight to share a reading of The Little Prince, a cherished tale from his late wife. He parked outside a towering glass building in the heart of downtown, the address matching a late-night order that had come through just as he was about to clock out. "Please make it fast," the note had pleaded. "Urgent. Cash tip." With a weary sigh, Daniel snatched the paper bag from the passenger seat and hurried through the revolving doors. The lobby was nearly deserted, the lone sound being the distant hum of a vacuum cleaner. As the elevator ascended to the 32nd floor, each second felt like an eternity. His phone buzzed in his pocket, surely another message from Ethan, wondering when to expect him home, but his hands were occupied. When the doors finally glided open, he stepped into a vast expanse of glass and glowing screens. At the far end, a woman in a sleek black suit sat hunched over her desk, her head cradled in her hands. Her voice was soft yet strained as she spoke without lifting her gaze. "Please, just make it fast." There was a weight in her tone that made Daniel hesitate. He set the food down on her desk, but she didn't react. Her hands trembled, and his heart sank at the sight of empty pill bottles scattered around her laptop. "Ma'am," he asked gently. "Are you okay?" When she finally looked up, time seemed to freeze. Her face was ashen, mascara streaked like a painting smudged by rain. Recognition hit him like a jolt with Claire Whitmore, CEO of Whitmore Industries. Her company had been in the headlines for mass layoffs just last month. Daniel's brother had been one of those let go. She blinked, disoriented. "Who are you?" "Delivery," he replied, still fixated on the bottles. "You don't look well. Maybe I should call someone." A bitter smile flickered on her lips. "Someone? There's no one left to call." His eyes caught a photo on her desk, a man and a little girl, laughter frozen in time against a beach backdrop. Next to it lay a wedding ring, and an ache stirred within him. "I just wanted dinner," she murmured, her voice cracking. "But I couldn't even bring myself to eat. Everything I touch seems to wither away. My husband left last month, investors are fleeing, and sleep eludes me. I just wanted it all to stop." Daniel swallowed hard. "I know that feeling." Her gaze darted to him, filled with unspoken questions. "My wife passed away 3 years ago," he whispered, his voice gentle. "Every night, I wished for it to end too. But I had this little boy who still believed I could make things right." He couldn't pinpoint why he was sharing this. Perhaps it was her echo of loneliness that struck a familiar chord. Or perhaps it was simply the way she seemed on the brink of surrender. Turning her gaze to the city lights outside, she murmured, "You have no idea what it's like to lose everything you've worked for." "No," Daniel replied somberly. "But I understand what it means to lose all that truly matters." A heavy silence draped over them, the steady drizzle against the glass echoing their shared grief. He noticed her fingers inching toward the edge of the desk, eyeing the pills. He inhaled deeply and did something he never imagined himself doing, breaking away from the desire to simply go home. With a steady hand, he gathered the bottles into his delivery bag, stepping back to create space. "What are you doing?" she asked, her voice laced with surprise. "Making it quick," he said softly. "That's what you wanted, right? I'm taking these before you make a choice you can't take back." Tears shimmered in her eyes. "You don't even know me." He held her gaze steadily. "Maybe not. But I recognize pain when I see it. And I know it can fade, not if you shut others out." She remained still, her expression a tumult of anguish, as if deciding between breaking down or lashing out. Daniel reached into his jacket and pulled out a small card. It bore the name of a local grief support group, one his doctor had insisted he attend. "They helped me find my footing when I couldn't stand on my own," he said. "You don't have to carry this burden alone." He turned to go, But her voice called him back. Why would you care about someone like me? He hesitated at the door. Because once, someone cared enough to save me when I didn't believe I was worth saving. As he made his way to his car, the rain had settled into a gentle drizzle. His phone buzzed again, a missed call from Ethan. He dialed back, and his son's sleepy voice came through. Dad? Did you forget the story? Daniel couldn't help but smile despite his weariness. Never. Get the book ready, champ. I'm on my way. Unbeknownst to him, the woman stood watching from her office window, clutching a card in trembling hands. A week later, Daniel returned to the same building for another delivery. When the elevator doors opened, there was Claire, waiting with 2 cups of coffee. Her face had softened, her eyes weary but alive with a spark. I asked them to send you, she greeted him with a small smile. I wanted to thank you. I got help. I'm getting better. He nodded, grappling with how to respond. She offered him one of the cups. For you. And for your boy, I left something special in the envelope. Later that evening, as Daniel tucked Ethan into bed, he opened the envelope. Inside lay a scholarship certificate with Ethan's name adorned upon it, and a note that read, For the man who reminded me that life is worth one more try. Daniel sat in the tranquil room, holding the letter close to his heart. Sometimes, he reflected, the smallest act of kindness isn't small at all. It's the thread that weaves 2 broken souls back together, preventing them from unraveling.